Well, college football fans know him as the former coach of Auburn, but Tommy Tuberville is now headed to Washington, D.C. as a senator. The Republican beat incumbent Doug Jones in Tuesday's election in Alabama. Pete Thamel is following that story for us. Pete, let's talk about what led up to all this, because Tommy Tuberville didn't have any political experience. As you point out in your article, he didn't necessarily take part in the debates, and yet he won in a big way on Tuesday.
Yeah, remember the old Herm Edwards saying, Akiko, you play to win the game? Well, Tommy Tuberville played to win the election, and he played by not playing. He simply if you took the Auburn mascot and put an R by it in Alabama, you're probably going to win. And so, and I say that out of nonpartisanship. He very simply did what he needed to do to win the election, which was not expose his lack of experience. He didn't debate. He didn't need to do media. He just basically ran on a pro-Trump agenda. His real election was the runoff with Jeff Sessions a few months back, and he basically appeared with President Trump. President Trump attacked Jeff Sessions on Twitter, and that rode Tommy Tuberville to this. And look, we saw when Doug Jones beat Roy Moore, it takes a perfect storm for a Republican to lose in Alabama. And so Tommy Tuberville coasted to win. And he was in victory formation from the end of that runoff.
Yeah, and Peter, when we're talking about it, it's interesting too, because I raised questions about what other sports icons, if you want to call them that, can run here, because there are many, and even President Trump, you could say, all right, maybe he was a reality TV star that really carried him here. So are you looking at maybe other sports icons that can run? I think about LeBron James and how much he's done around the election and getting people out to vote this year. I wonder if he could potentially run.
Yeah, it's interesting. We've certainly seen it in the past. Tom Osborne was a congressman from Nebraska. I do think, Zach, it's a really good point. We will see in this generation of athlete empowerment, I do think we will see that transcend to Washington, as these guys, they obviously, the salaries right now that athletes make are certainly exorbitant. They're set for life. But, you've seen from the LeBron James generation, athletes wanting to make a difference. So I can't tell you who, but I am certain we will see athletes running for office around the country.
Yeah, well, we are at least seeing them increasingly vocal, putting themselves forward in the political discussion. Pete Thamel from Yahoo Sports, good to talk to you.
Thanks, Kiko.